Hi, everybody. This is Lisa.
And this is Joe.
And welcome to your Cheap Date Show for May 26, 2007.
On this week's show,
a Culinary World Tour. That's right. A world tour. We start here in Arlington Heights, we go to Tokyo, and then we come back. And if you haven't tasted the whole world by then nothing we can do to help you. Is there something you'd like to share with the group, Joe?
Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa to you, sir.
Actually, what you say before you have a drink of sake,
as we are about
to, you say kampai.
Kampai.
Which means bottoms up.
Banzai.
It's something else.
Wow. It comes in a bottle like wine, but it tastes more like
vodka.
Well, it's not quite there. It's
tonight's show is
20%, 15 to 18% alcohol by volume, so it's a bit stronger. Tonight's show
is fueled by Urakasumi sake. Yes.
Sake.
Spoken like a true Chicagoan. Yeah, I'm going to have some of that there sake. Yes. This was recommended to me by one of my hosts in Japan. I actually spent the last week in Tokyo.
Wow.
But more about that later.
Lucky dog.
But this was recommended to me. I actually found this sake at Mitsuwa Market, which is right here in Arlington Heights.
Mm-hmm. We're not experts, but it appears that they have quite a sake selection over there.
They do. But we'll get into more of that later. Okay. Let's talk about what people have been asking about all along.
Oh, what have people been asking about?
What is the deal with the Cubs? No. What is the deal with your vegetarian experience? Care to share?
I'd love to share. It's been 8 weeks now, and I'm still a vegetarian.
Wow. And you've never fallen off the wagon. I'm very proud of you. Oh.
You know that's not true. I have eaten meat on 3 different occasions deliberately.
Mm-hmm.
And although all 3 of those times it was only like 2 bites.
Yeah.
Once was at Chef's Fest because I felt like not eating meat would have severely limited the experience, and because I would have had some sort of sugar heart attack. Sewed.
You would have had a sewed
if I didn't eat some protein. On Easter when we went to your parents' house, on Mother's Day when we had your parents over here, just a few bites of chicken. Although I'm working on some things that I can feed to people when they come over that are vegetarian or that are meat optional. Like what I really want to do is make up skewers that could either have meat or not.
Oh.
But I didn't have time to do that. And there was that one time I went to McDonald's right about the time we were moving. It was so stressful.
There was chaos in the air.
I just seriously broke down. And you know what? It's a good thing McDonald's was my vice. And not
as opposed to
like Binny's for lunch. The liquor store. Hooters.
Binny's is, that'd be a different thing. Binny's is sort of like the Walmart or sort of like the Sam's Club of liquor stores. Mm-hmm. Pretty much anything you'd be looking for.
Yeah, we've had good experiences at Binny's.
That's
not to say they're cheap or crummy, just that they're...
But Binny's also helped. They also ordered for you, specially, your case of Red Hook Blonde.
That's right. They're great.
So,
I just didn't want to say Walmart sounds disparaging, but what we mean is they're reasonably priced and have a very good selection.
Yes, that is correct. So let's talk about vegetarianism.
So other than those few episodes, and seems like maybe one time I took a bite of your bacon as I was clearing off the table or something.
Well,
but I can't remember exactly.
The pig was already dead.
Well, and it was either going in the trash or in my mouth, so... Ethically, I think it's a wash.
But you talk about a choice. In the trash or in your mouth? Never mind.
Yeah. Anyhow, overall, it's going very, very well. I like it a lot.
Okay.
I do struggle with kind of the social implications. Like on a day-to-day basis, it's not too bad. You and the kids are used to it.
Mm-hmm.
My friends at work are used to it. I don't really go to Portillo's, and I don't really go to McDonald's. I go to Taco Bell, and I'm talking about like work lunches here. I go to Taco Bell. Sometimes I go pick up sushi for lunch. Like generally, what I'm saying is I can go wherever other people are going.
Mm-hmm.
What's going to be tougher is, and what has been tougher is families, because both of our families are meat eaters and have grown accustomed to me eating meat. And
right.
I'm not really sure. At this point, and this may change, at this point, it's more important to me to have a hassle-free family experience, like the one time a month or so that we see them, than to be completely adamant about being a vegetarian.
Fair enough.
I think so.
Okay. You feel good?
I feel fantastic.
Really?
I don't crave stuff like I used to.
You don't crave meat items? You don't crave like non-meat, just things in general?
No, I don't crave anything. Like I never feel like my desire for food is somehow, I don't know, going to get the best of me.
Okay.
Like, you know how sometimes in the afternoon, like, you're dying for some sugar or something? Like
yeah.
You're dying for a little Snickers bar?
Right.
I don't get that. In fact, even when I'm thinking about what I want to eat, even when I'm hungry, there's no food that I just, like, start to drool thinking about it. There's no food that I feel compelled to go eat. I used to get cravings for, like, you know, pizza or a hot dog or a burger or something. I don't get cravings like that anymore. I think about what I want to eat, and then I go eat it. And I think it's because I eat less salt. And because I eat less salt, I eat less sugar.
Okay. I'm with you so far.
And I think when you put the clamp down on salt and sugar in your diet, a lot of other things fall into place.
Really?
And also I eat more whole grains, because when I first started as a vegetarian, I ate a lot of eggs and cheese. Of course, that's very fatty. And then I went through a phase where I ate a lot of beans.
We all remember that.
Oh, stop it.
The greater northwest suburbs remember that. I'm kidding.
No, but okay, titters aside, eating beans daily or twice.
If we have to put them aside, then sure.
Eating beans daily or twice daily is not good over the long term.
Right. Why? Why would that be? Aside from the comical results.
That's the only reason.
Oh.
Because it causes gas.
But they have that stuff you can get. They have Beano, which you can take and supposedly destroys it.
Yeah, but why not?
No, I hear you. Why not mix it up a little bit and just... Okay.
Yeah, why not keep it down to beans 3 times a week or something? Okay. Oh, yeah, it's not bad for you. But anyway, so I went through the eggs and cheese phase, then I went through the beans phase, then I started to discover whole grains as a protein source.
Mm-hmm. And
it turns out that whole grains, although we don't think of them as having protein, have protein pretty well in proportion to the amount of carbs they have. My doctor recommended like this proportion of protein grams to carbohydrate grams that I'm supposed to kind of maintain all the time. And whole grains by themselves almost are at that ratio. Whereas I used to pair like white rice with chicken, brown rice is like white rice with chicken.
Okay.
Almost. It's not as much protein, but it's better balanced in being a protein and carbohydrate source.
Okay.
So that's a more complete food by itself. And the benefit to eating more whole grains is they fill me up better. If I go have sushi with brown rice at lunch, I eat like this tiny amount of food. I mean, it doesn't look like very much food, but I eat it and I'm not hungry again for like 5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's really, truly satisfying.
Well, good. So it's going well for you.
Extremely well.
Good.
Extremely well. And...
so well, in fact.
I've gotten a lot of really positive feedback from our listeners.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess some people wanted us to talk a little bit more about... Or have we talked at all?
We haven't spoken about it too much yet.
there's an awesome vegetarian restaurant walking distance from our house. And so that's what we're going to review tonight.
That's right. Chowpatti.
And it is international cuisine.
It is.
More on that later. It is a world tour right in a little strip center.
Yeah.
In Arlington Heights.
How about it?
And do we want to go back to Tokyo at all?
No, let's talk about this first.
Okay. So, you talk for a while. I've been flapping my jaw.
I've enjoyed it, though. Chowpatti is a restaurant that has been it's been in the same location for 20 some odd years, 25 years, actually.
Since 1982. Yes, 25 years.
Yeah, that would be 25 years. And I've driven by this place many, many times. I've often wondered what it would be like. And we finally went there about a month ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like quite a month ago. Took the kids there. And at first, it is run by an Indian family, but and there is a large amount of Indian food on the cuisine, but they go totally across the board in terms of what they had. First, let's talk about what we had.
Okay.
The last time we were there and this time, we started off with an appetizer called... She's got to look it up now. Here.
Aloo wada.
Which is what?
Here's how it's described. A potato dumpling stuffed with chopped walnuts and seasonings, dipped in chickpea batter and lightly fried. Served with a spicy sweet tamarind chutney.
And that's really good.
Now, what the heck is that?
It's a lot like a samosa, actually, is what it reminded me of. And what's a samosa?
If you're the type of person who might be reminded of a samosa, then that's just fine. What it is like, it's potato chopped up like, I don't know what it's like. I've never really had a potato dumpling. It's chopped up like hash brown, coarse, and then there's some stuff in it, and you can't really tell what the stuff is. And you wouldn't know the chickpea batter, except that it has this nice, really thin fried batter on it.
Little crust.
And the spicy sweet tamarind chutney is exactly... If you don't know what tamarind is, then you can't really imagine it. You just have to try it. Indian food is like that for me. Like, I don't have enough frame of reference. Like, when I read a menu, even when they use plain words like potatoes, chickpeas, tamarind chutney, I can't envision how that'll taste.
Right.
So, if you can't, take our word for it. It's really good.
You just got to taste it. And then the last time we were... So that was what we had last time and this time. The last time for dinner, I had the...
Oh, it's kind of like a hush puppy a little bit.
It kind of is. It's kind of like a big hush puppy. The last time I was there, I had something called the salad bale, which is puffed rice served with crunchy chickpea noodles and bits of whole wheat chips. And then it's mixed with diced potatoes, onions, cilantro, and 3 different chutneys, garlic, hot, and sweet. And they're combined to whatever hotness you want, spiciness you request. And I think I had it as a 3, and it was way hot. I should have had... this is served cold, by the way. Should be pointed out. That's why they call it a salad. And it's very, very good. I asked for a side of yogurt after I got about 4 bites into it because it was burning it up. But it was really, really good. They serve this. That's the basic bale. They serve it with several different other options, including like cucumber and tomato, onion and tomato. They put their homemade yogurt on top of it, along with lettuce and carrots and cucumbers and stuff on the side. So it's really, really, really good.
So it had like some crunchy stuff in it?
It was a sensory... You're the one with the texture. But it was from a texture standpoint, it had soft, it had crunchy,
it was a texture
it had firm.
10.
It really was. There was a ton of texture in that.
Puffed rice, it's like Rice Krispie.
Uh-huh.
A little bit sweet, a little like malty maybe.
Yeah, it was delicious. So that's what I had last time. What did you have last time? Do you remember?
It was not Indian. Oh, I had falafel.
That's right. Okay. And how was that?
And those were really like hush puppies.
Yeah.
The falafel. With pita bread and shredded spinach and tomatoes and yogurt sauce. It was good.
Mm-hmm.
It was... it's not my favorite food. It was...
No.
It was good. I guess it was kind of, I was probably in the mood for something spicier. I remember last time I really liked the appetizer and I really liked your entree.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think I was in the mood for something a little zestier. And falafel, I don't claim to be an expert, but it seems like falafel, just by its nature, is not really super, I don't know, zesty, to use that word again.
Okay.
It's like, I'm not trying to diss on, I don't want to say it's not flavorful, because it's good, but it's a very simple flavor compared to some of these Indian dishes, which are like a cacophony.
Ooh. It's a cacophony of tastes.
I mean, it's just these indescribable, earthy and spicy and sweet and smoky and tangy, just everything.
Yeah.
And falafel, by comparison, is like a hush puppy.
Right.
Like, tasty, but okay.
Okay. No, we're with you.
Okay, so anyway.
So tonight we came and we came to the place and we got we both went for a variety of uttapam, which is a thick pancake made of a batter of rice and lentil. And then what it is, it's what are they? Oh, it's a pancake, and then they sort of bake it or fry it or something.
I think they make it like an omelet, where they take the batter and they mix your stuff in with it.
Oh, okay.
And then they bake the whole thing.
Got it. I had the masala uttapam, which is they call it sort of like Indian pizza, Indian style pizza. Mine was it had onions, potatoes, tomatoes, cilantro, cashews, raisins, and spices. I didn't seem to recall any raisins in it, but it was very, very good, very hearty and very comforting. And I was very full after eating about half of this thing. Probably, I'd say maybe it was 7 inches across, probably about the size of a 45. I would say. I put everything in terms of audio equipment.
That's possible.
Yeah. And it was filling. I was very, very full when we left. You had the pav bhaji uttapam.
Mm-hmm. And what was in that? I remember.
Seasoned potatoes, green peas, cauliflower, tomatoes, garlic, onions, cilantro, cashews, raisins. Oh, yeah, it had raisins too. And spices. Yeah.
Are you sure about that?
That's what I'm reading it. It's right here.
Maybe they were chopped up raisins, not whole raisins.
Well, that could be.
I could not distinguish any one thing in there.
Yeah, it was just sort of all in there, in diced and smaller format.
And it is all, yeah, it was all diced up pretty small, so it was hard to tell. And then a side of like a soup with, I wouldn't call it vegetable soup, but it was like a vegetable broth with a few vegetables.
Yeah,
hard to
on the
describe.
side.
As like a sauce.
Right. But it was very good. Yours had a definite earthier flavor than mine did. One of the seasonings that you had made it very earthy.
Sometimes a little bit of cinnamon can do that.
Maybe.
When there's a little cinnamon, you almost can't even taste it as cinnamon.
Maybe there was a little peat moss in there too. I'm kidding. I kid. So anyway, they had. Sorry, I was going in my head. I was going back to that episode of Northern Exposure, where Eve and Shelley were trying to recreate the bottle of Chateau Lafite.
Oh, and they were using like coffee grounds and
peat
dirt
moss and yeah, exactly. If you haven't seen that episode, go back. I think that was the second season of Northern Exposure, when that show was great. But we digress. On the menu, they've got stuff they have Mexican stuff, they have tacos, bean and cheese tacos, they have burritos. Maybe one of their bean burritos or one of their cheese burritos next time.
That's what I really wanted to try originally.
Nachos, quesadillas, and then they have a whole Italian menu, veggie lasagna, spaghetti, garlic bread, cheesy garlic bread. They have pizza bread. They have all different kinds of pizzas, veggie pizzas, obviously. You can have apple, broccoli, beef. Oh, beet, not beef. Beet. Sorry. Thought they were trying to slip that in there on you. Oh, yeah, we have beef. And then what happens if you order it, then they throw you out of the restaurant. We told you. Carrot, eggplant, green pepper, garlic, jalapeno, mushroom, olive, onion.
Emma got a little cheese one. It was about 7 inches. It looked really good.
And she really liked it. She even wrote in the little guest book at the restaurant. Yeah, they have a little guest book when you leave, when you go to sign it. And Emma wrote something for all of us. So if you happen to go there, look in the little guest book on the way out and look for something in the month of April of 2007 with our names in it. They have croissant sandwiches. They have a Chowpatti croissant burger, which is a burger patty, which I'm assuming is one of those veggie patty things. Sure. Onions, tomatoes, lettuce. So it really is. And then you can get a veggie hot dog chili dog.
Oh, I didn't realize they had a veggie hot dog.
Oh,
I should
yeah.
try theirs and see if I like it.
Just yeah, since you had a bad experience with the one
The
that you had
tofu
before.
pups are disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they have salads, obviously, and vegetable soup and sandwiches with. They do serve cheese.
They do.
I don't think they really serve eggs. I was just reading somewhere that traditionally Indian vegetarians either don't eat meat or don't eat milk or don't eat eggs, but I can't remember which. Well, anyway, so they have cheese but not eggs, I don't think. So you can get like a cheese sandwich. Oh, I'm looking at a veggie melt sandwich right now.
Right.
So some stuff is just really simple and what you'd expect from a vegetarian restaurant. But I do think, the people who run it and the guy who started it are from India, and I guess that Indian food is their specialty.
Right. They also have a tremendously huge selection of juices you can get.
Yeah.
Orange, beet, apple, lemon, grape, pineapple, melons, melon combo, celery, carrot combined with just about everything else. They have several different kinds of juices. Like it looks like a couple dozen different types of juice combinations and juices that you can get there. For drink. You like for drink? For our beverage with our dinner tonight, we had
Moroccan mint tea.
Yeah.
Which is green tea with mint.
That was wonderful.
Delicious.
Mm-hmm.
What surprised me about this place, because I downloaded the menu before I took you guys, and I saw that they had all different kinds of food. And I figured it would be like those little, I don't know, like those little fast food joints where you can get a burger, a hot dog, or a pizza puff, or
Yeah.
a gyro or something. Like, it's just all kind of frozen packaged food.
Sure.
No. Somehow they make really good fresh baked pizza, really good fresh made Indian food, really good chopped up salads. I don't know how they can have like 200 items on their menu and they're all really good.
Well, we didn't try all 200, but we're assuming.
No, that's true, but our random sample indicates that they are all really good.
Home run every time.
I don't know how they can use all fresh ingredients and all kinds of good stuff on all those different... I don't know how they do it, but...
Volume. That's how we do it. Volume.
Like the change bank. It's kind of affirming as a vegetarian to let your guard down and not have to worry about whether or not... I feel like I've said this before. Haven't we talked about this?
We might have. I don't know if we've talked about it on the show, but we've talked about it.
It's kind of nice to be able to let your guard down and not have to worry about, does that have meat in it, or ordering it without meat, or something like that. Not that that's hugely stressful most of the time, but... And they all have T-shirts that say, I think, therefore I am a vegetarian.
That's right. Very clever. That is Chowpatti. They're located at 1035 South Arlington Heights Road in Arlington Heights. Dinner for two of us was around $35, which is very reasonable considering that included appetizers and the tea that Lisa mentioned. So check it out. Even if you're not a vegetarian, let the record show that I do not consider myself to be a vegetarian. Check it out. That would be
absolutely ridiculous. You eat meat like 4 times a day.
But anyway, check it out.
No, and the kids are not vegetarians, and they liked it. If the kids liked it,
that's true. It is kid friendly. Let it be known. Where else should we go on our international tour? Should I talk about my trip to Tokyo for a while?
Why don't you? Because, just give us a culinary overview. What's food like in Japan? First of all, I expected that you would come back and be like, we had turkey subs and cheeseburgers all week because they were trying to cater to our tastes.
Don't I wish?
But no, they didn't. They wanted to give you the full Japanese experience.
Well, here's what it is. Right, because we were there. I went there. One of the companies that we do business with, a large computer manufacturer, who is based in Japan, wanted to...
Sony?
No.
Apple? No. Toshiba?
We'll continue. Their logo is a little infinity symbol, so if you can figure that out.
You don't have to give it away. I'm just...
They had a trade show that they do of all of their latest products and technologies, and they show off all the stuff that they've done for the past year and the stuff that they're working on, in addition to their wide range of products that they have. And I was invited to be part of a council of customers, about 25 customers who got from all across the country who got to be a part of this. So it was very cool.
All
that I got
across
to be
the world?
All across, well, in the United States there were about 25, and there were about another maybe 10 from other countries in the world. So it was a very interesting event. We got to go to, in addition to sitting in conference rooms and touring factories and learning about technologies, and also meeting the top executives at this particular company. I got to call them out. You are producing. No, we're very happy with their products. But anyway, all that said, I was there for a week, and during that week, we got to eat a lot of different stuff, as long as it was fish. I consider myself to be a pretty cosmopolitan guy when it comes to trying new things, and also,
especially international food. I mean, you're pretty good.
And understanding awareness of different cultures and whatnot. And obviously, this company being a Japanese company, they wanted to put their best foot forward from presenting the Japanese lifestyle and the Japanese food and culture and whatnot, which was great. We saw a sumo match, which was awesome. It was. I won't go into detail. I've talked to you about this already for a while, but there's something very, very cool about sumo wrestling.
Joe's a big sumo fan now. No, I think that's great. I think it's great that you went and spent a week there and found, a handful of things that you really loved.
That was really cool. We went to a bunch of different restaurants. We got to try a bunch of different stuff. I had sushi before. We had... I'll do a quick rundown of the places we went, because I made some notes here. First of all, we did have one of the conferences we had that was held at the Park Hyatt in Tokyo, which is where they filmed Lost in Translation. Ooh. I didn't see anybody I recognized there, though. One night we went to an Indian restaurant called the Raj Mahal, which was in the in the Roppongi district, which was very, very good. We had a group of about 16 of us, and one of the guys who was there, who is Indian, ordered for everybody. Basically, he just called things out to the wait staff, and they brought stuff over and said, "Here, try this, try this, try this." And it was great because it was a big group of us. We were able to pass stuff around and try stuff we might not normally have, been able to try. So it was really, really good. The first night we were there, we went to, I forgot the name of the restaurant that we went to the very first night we were there, but it was more of a traditional Japanese style restaurant, which was... and the people ordered in the same way. They just ordered little pieces of everything for everybody. Mm-hmm. And so I got to try a bunch of different Japanese stuff, a lot of sushi, a lot of raw fish, some tempura, which was really good. It was just a good time. And I felt, as I told you before, there were people from all across the American group, at least. There were some guys. There was a gentleman who was part of our group who was retired, and now he was working as the CEO of a small distributor of this company's computers. And I think his idea of international cuisine was maybe limited to Taco Bell. So I kind of walked him through what I knew, but so it was pretty neat. We went to a place called Unkai, which is in the Kanazawa district, which is right near a samurai house that we saw. That's the place where they gave us a box lunch, but it was a little lacquered box. That was like a jewelry box where the top, you flipped up the lid, and there were various little pieces of fruit and vegetable and basically fish in there.
Little sea creatures.
And then you open a little drawer on the bottom, and there was a shrimp in there along with some other things, some noodles
with
and whatnot.
With a head and a shell? And
a shrimp with the head, the body, the whole thing. One of the guys in our party said, "Oh yeah, they cook it with they cook the shrimp with the head on it because when they cook it, it's going to be sweeter." And sure enough, when I dug through it, I know you were supposed to eat the whole thing, shell and all. Ugh. I tore them open and I ate it. And the shrimp, it was not like your typical shrimp. It was very sweet. And they said that's because they cooked it with the head on, which is very interesting. We went to a place called Icho Odaiba, which is in the Odaiba district, which is located in the Hotel Niku. This is a Teppan grill, which is what Benihana of Tokyo is. Only this was about a zillion times better than Benihana.
About a zillion?
Approximately. They didn't do the little onion smokestack, but they did a whole bunch of other stuff. And there were two things that they did that were notable about this place. Number one is that I had my first taste of Kobe beef, which was just completely amazing. Real Kobe beef.
Apparently, real Kobe beef is only served in Japan. Is that correct?
I think so. I don't think you can get it outside Japan. And if you can, well, there are restaurants here that claim they have Kobe beef. Maybe they have Kobe style beef. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll have to look
very
into that.
well marbled, but not fatty. Very flavorful as well. The other thing that the chef did, which I described, which was really cool, was the fact that he took a garlic clove and sliced it, and then made little garlic chips out of it. He took two what looked like putty knives and just kept moving them on the grill to the point where they got all fried evenly on all sides. Then he set them aside, and then they dried out a little bit, and they were like little garlic chips. So we'll be trying that at home at some point.
Okay.
It's delish.
Some warm day when we can open the windows.
Or we'll do it outside. There you go. And then the last night we were there,
Big outdoor grill.
we went to a shabu shabu restaurant,
Shabu shabu.
which called Serena in the Roppongi district, which is shabu shabu is you get a plate of meats, typically it's all different sorts of things. I guess Genghis Khan was the guy who came up with this whole thing because it was an easy way for him to feed his troops. I did a little bit of research on this.
Interesting.
Yeah. You take a pot of boiling water, and they give you these thin strips of beef, and you put them on chopsticks, and then you swish them around. That's where the name comes from, shabu shabu, because you're swishing.
Swishy, swishy.
In the boiling water, and then you take it out, and then you eat it.
So how long does it take to cook? Like a few seconds?
It just takes, less than a minute.
But you have to hold on to your beef.
And the thing is, it's extremely well marbled, like a little too well marbled beef, in my opinion. And the idea is that the fat all cooks away. It winds up in the water. Then they throw some. This is like communal thing, sort of similar to fondue, or sukiyaki is similar to that as well. I understand, where 2 to 3, 4 people use the same thing of water, thing of boiling water, at the table, and then after everyone's doing that, then they take a bunch of vegetables and throw it in there. Then you can pick the vegetables out, and then whatever's left over, they serve to you as soup. It wasn't my favorite meal, but it was an interesting cultural experience, and I enjoyed it.
The communal thing, I don't know. I guess it's not I've never been to a fondue restaurant. I guess it's not any weirder than fondue.
Yeah.
Like sticking all your food in the same pot.
Yeah, but that'll be coming up soon. We'll do a fondue restaurant. We should do that. Upcoming cheap date.
Okay.
Have to do that.
So there are a couple things that you kind of said characterize Japanese food. Little bits of food.
Right. A lot of rice, too. I should mention there were lots of rice balls and stuff, too.
But always in little portions, right? In little. That's the way all the food you've described are little chunks of this and that.
They are.
And super prevalent. We learned this at Mitsuo the other day. Super prevalent sea products.
Absolutely. There was seaweed or fish or something.
You said you even got
everything.
crackers that were like flavored with fish powder.
Yeah.
Like places we wouldn't even in our wildest dreams think to put fish.
Yeah.
Like to me, fish is like, fish, you get it, you put it on the grill and you eat it. And
right.
That's the beginning and the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess, what do we have? I guess cheese is kind of like that in our culture where we put cheese on everything.
Everything.
I'm thinking even cheese crackers and Ritz
right.
or like cheese nips and Doritos and places where cheese really doesn't belong at all.
Yeah.
And they do that with fish.
It's everywhere. And we went to the Tsukiji fish market one morning at 5:15 a.m.
Holy cow.
And this was really neat because this is like supply chain management at its finest because you have the fish coming in off the boats. Then you had a big area where they were all frozen and on the floor, and there was a big auction going on. And then people would buy the fish, take them to another section of the market where they package them up and then prepare them for sale to people who walk in there, or restaurant people, or housewives, whoever.
So from the time it reaches the port to the time you buy it, that's all happens under one roof.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just pretty neat. We saw lots of cool stuff. We saw shrimp. We saw tuna. We saw sea bass.
Gooey ducks.
We saw gooey. I took a picture of the gooey ducks for you.
That should be our
mascot.
Our
logo.
Yeah.
Avatar.
I meant like our show photo.
Perhaps it will be.
They're
We'll have to
disturbing.
see. So it was really cool. It was the days were very, very long. They had every minute scheduled out for us. So we didn't get to talk all that much. But I will say that I was able to talk with my kids over Skype, which was very cool because
Go Skype.
Go international on that. And I did make it down to, we walked down to the Ginza, and there's a picture of me in front of the Apple Store on Ginza.
Of course.
And also, we one day took a trip down to Akihabara, which is the electronics district, and I picked up a few little things, including a little... how sweet. Including a little gift for Lisa. Well, I bought you a lovely silk kimono.
You bought me a lot of awesome stuff.
Yeah.
Including a lovely pink kimono.
Yeah.
Silk.
And a digital camera.
And a sweet digital camera. And a little pink case.
Yeah.
Not silk.
Very cute, though. So anyway, that was very cool.
Very cute. Once I got the menus switched to English. I was a little grumpy prior to that.
So thumbs up on Tokyo. And someday if we go back, we'll do a proper review of the restaurants that are there.
Oh, yeah.
And I did learn about things like sake. Yum, yum, yum. So that's it.
So that's your Cheap Date World Tour. Cheap, as expected.
We'll take you around the world in 30 minutes. Or your money back. So whatever you guys paid for this podcast, we'll give it back to you if you didn't like it. If people want to get a hold of us, Lisa, how do they go about doing that?
They should email us.
And the best way of doing that would be...
dish@cheapdateshow.com.
You can also leave us a voicemail at 206-203-DATE is 3283. And also, don't forget, within the next week or so, the debut of Discover Woodfield, which you can find at discoverwoodfield.com.
Right.
Do you want to get a preview of what we're going to be talking about, or do we just want people to just tune in and hear what they're doing? Because we already know what we're doing.
Well, why the heck not? Later this week, we are going to the Metropolis to see Don't Dress for Dinner. And that's all I can tell you about it at this point, because that's all I know. So come on over. If you're a fan, just come over and give us some listen, like some page count.
Some hits.
Whatever. Some hit
some downloads.
counter. Yeah. So we don't feel like losers. And
we're not losers.
and hopefully you'll find it entertaining. Just like with Cheap Date, you can't actually go to these places, but hopefully we're like funny and cute and you just like listening.
That's right. And we're not losers. We're just winners who haven't won yet. All right. Thanks for listening, everyone. We will talk to you in 2 weeks.
Good night.
This podcast is proudly listed at podcastpickle.com.